It's Tuesday, December 9th. In the headlines, PetroJam resumes fuel deliveries from Montego Bay plant. In business news, Jamaica's largest solar energy park to be built in Trelawney. Regionally, Nigerian Rastas hail Caribbean links. And in sports, Trinidad and Tobago hosts 2025 Carifta Artistic Gymnastics Championships. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Fuel tankers are once again rolling out of PetroJam's Montego Bay Industrial Loading Rack, marking a major step forward in Western Jamaica's recovery from Hurricane Melissa. In a press release, PetroJam Limited says the St. James facility reopened this week after 4 weeks of intensive repairs. Since the storm, PetroJam had been trucking fuel from Kingston to serve Western parishes. Now, the Montego Bay rack is back to full operations, supplying regular and premium gasoline, ultra-low sulfur diesel, and aviation fuel. PetroJam says restoration teams worked around the clock to rebuild and strengthen the site, upgrading delivery equipment, fortifying storage and fuel lines, clearing debris, and reinforcing the perimeter fence. The company also continued assisting motorists with real-time updates on open service stations in the region. Quality control remains intact through PetroJam's accredited laboratory in Kingston, which tests and certifies all petroleum products before distribution. With the reopening, PetroJam says the focus is on reliability, safety, and maintaining Jamaica's energy security as business and leisure activities ramp back up across the West. The National Works Agency has started on its road rehabilitation program across Jamaica, targeting roads damaged by Hurricane Melissa. The National Works Agency says it will focus on repairing roads that were made impassable following the hurricane, as well as addressing potholes and scoured surfaces. NWA Communication Manager Stephen Shaw says the agency is seeking to provide relief to residents ahead of the holiday season. We caught up with Mr. Shaw in Easington, St. Thomas. His team was working along the main road between Albion and Easington,
removing some of these rocks that are dangerously positioned to facilitate them coming down in a safe way so that the motoring public and even pedestrians, their safety is not compromised. We have seen fissures in some of these rocks, and we believe that the best option is what we are now doing, which is to have them removed with the assistance of heavy-duty equipment.
Mr. Shaw says repairs will be done to the Easington Bridge, which is now closed to vehicular traffic. The bridge was damaged during the passage of Hurricane Melissa on October 28.
The technical team, our bridge engineers, they have visited the area. They are putting together a solution. I'm not in a position to say what that solution will entail just now, but it is something that is actively being worked on, the team having visited the location. It will form part and parcel of the government's response to issues associated with the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
Meanwhile, Easington resident Alicia Smith is urging the authorities to effect the repairs sooner rather than later because her business and the daily life of others are being affected.
This is what connects us to Norris and Foreman's Corner and so on. I have my vehicle, but when you check out the gas and the time to go all the way around, most times what I do, I'll park right here. If you come here sometime right through the day, my car is parked here and I go across, take a taxi, and go where I'm going and come back and then move from here. Like right now, I am here picking up my hockeys because it was in Norris, which is a neighboring community that adjoins the bridge, right? And I had to get a taxi from there to bring it right at the bridge here, which is not safe for us to walk on, but we have to do what we have to do. Same thing with the kids. The kids are being late for school because seeing that it's only Landui taxis passing by this area, when they leave Landui and reach to Islington, it's already full. So sometime after 8, 9 o'clock, the kids are still right here waiting to get a taxi, or I have to bring them here, cross them over and put them on a taxi on that side.
2 young cybersecurity professionals from the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, JCERT, are celebrating a major victory after taking top honors in the inaugural She Secures Jamaica cybersecurity competition. Monique Satchwell and Rena Hagigal, both Tier 2 analysts at the National Security Operations Center, captured first place in the overall team category, outperforming dozens of competitors from across the island. The competition, a collaboration between the Ministry of National Security and Peace and the Organization of American States, is designed to give Jamaican women and girls aged 16 and older practical cybersecurity experience. Participants were challenged to apply real-world technical skills while strengthening their readiness to operate in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Organizers say the initiative aims to boost participation of women and girls in expanding cybersecurity sector, a major move that forms part of broader efforts to enhance Jamaica's cyber resilience. Leptospirosis is a bacterial disease spread from infected animals to humans and other animals through their urine, often via contaminated soil or water. These symptoms include fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches, vomiting, diarrhea, and red eye. Let's hear more from the Jamaica Information Service.
What is leptospirosis? Leptospirosis is a bacterial disease caused by Leptospira bacteria that affects both humans and animals. How is leptospirosis transmitted?
It is caused by exposure to usually urine of infected animals. That's the most common in terms of urine, but also other body fluids of infected animals, including if you have dead animals that have been infected with leptospirosis in waters, then of course that can lead to the bacteria being present in the waters and being able to affect individuals. So usually, it follows history of heavy rainfall. Usually persons who are in the fields and in water, farmers, etc., would have a high degree of exposure. And, when persons have cuts, bruises, then the organism can enter the body through those areas. And it of course, if it's contaminating the food or the drink, then of course it can enter the body through that means as well as if you have the dirty hands coming from leptospirosis infected waters and it is touching any of the mucous membranes, the eyes, inside the nostrils or inside the mouth, then you can become infected with leptospirosis.
How does the disease present?
90% of the time it's a mild flu-like illness, and persons will take paracetamol that will relieve their discomfort in terms of their pain, their fever, and it will settle. However, 5 to 10% of cases can progress and especially go on to involve the liver and the kidney and result in severe disease. And in some occasions, less than 5% of cases, we can get involvement of the brain, leading to infections of the brain and in the fluids around the brain. It can also involve the lungs, with bleeding in the lungs, and with respiratory failure. So in terms of the mild cases, in some instances, persons have no symptoms at all, so they are asymptomatic. But the mild symptoms that you will get include fever, headache, muscle pain, red eyes, stomach pain, and diarrhea. Sounds a lot like dengue, and it sounds a lot like a lot of other illnesses. And so therefore, with the level of exposure that persons would have now to contaminated water, we have to have a high level of suspicion. When are the symptoms severe? If the symptoms are severe, then you will have a worse prognosis, a poorer outcome. And persons will go on to get chills, nausea, vomiting, and yellowing of the eyes is one of the common symptoms that persons look out for when they usually suspect that leptospirosis is probably there. You will see a change in the urine. The urine becomes dark or orange colored, and then the urine, it becomes significantly less as the infection now starts to affect the kidneys. And then you can have bleeding at various points of the body. You can get coughing up of blood, or you can get passage of blood in the stool. You can also get an inflammation around the heart, and this presents with symptoms such as irregular heartbeat and tiredness, fatigue, etc. Shortness of breath, swollen feet, difficulty in lying flat. These are some of the more severe symptoms that you can get with leptospirosis.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. US $56 million has been invested in SunTerra Energy Jamaica Limited, Jamaica's largest solar farm, by Kingston-based M-Scale LLC, manager of the Caribbean Venture Capital Fund. Located in Trelawney on Jamaica's northwest coast, the project will be built in 2 phases and has the potential to reach 200 megawatts with battery storage enough to supply 12% of Jamaica's electricity needs. Phase 1 has already been awarded and is under development. Hugo Akimba, CEO of M-Scale LLC, noted, I quote, "Following Hurricane Melissa and the vulnerabilities it exposed in the national grid, resilient, clean infrastructure is no longer optional, it's essential. SunTerra Energy will strengthen the system while delivering sustainable power. This is the first of several projects we plan to support across the region." Emmanuel De Rosa, CEO of SunTerra Energy, stated, "Solar generation is key to lowering electricity costs, reducing Jamaica's carbon footprint, and decreasing dependence on imported oil, diesel, and natural gas. The project is also expected to generate more than 600 jobs for Jamaicans." Norman Manley International Airport, Montego Bay Airport Revenue Finance, and NCB Financial Group and National Commercial Bank Jamaica are just the beginning of companies that are on the credit watch list of international rating agencies. A ratings watch negative signal means the current credit rating is under review and could be cut, which would likely translate into higher borrowing costs, increased interest payments, and possible cash flow pressures for the affected companies. More Jamaican companies and entities are now on ratings watch negative by global credit ratings agency Moody's and Fitch, raising the risk of future downgrades in the coming months. Fitch says, for example, it placed Montego Bay Airport Revenue Finance on ratings watch negative in relation to its US $400 million bond. The agency says the actions are tied to the impact of Hurricane Melissa on the airport's infrastructure and the uncertainty about future visitor arrivals and, by extension, the entity's capacity to service its debt without cash flow difficulties. This follows a similar move on NCB Financial Group and National Commercial Bank Jamaica. For the trading period ending December 8, 2025, these are the most actively traded stocks. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 10,267,138 units, representing 35.34% of market sales volume. Kintyre Holdings Jamaica Limited with 7,081,063 units, representing 24.37% of market sales volume. Edufocal Limited with 2,715,825 units, representing 9.35% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On December 8, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $52.39 million purchased and US $56.25 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.57 per dollar, selling the US at $159.45 and buying the US at $161.02. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders $1.38 per transaction, with selling at $116.62 and buying at $115.24. The British pound yielded Forex traders $5.58 in profits, with selling at $210.08 and buying at $215.66. For our credit report tip of the day, as the year winds down and you're shopping for family and friends, this is also the perfect moment to strengthen your credit instead of stretching your budget. Add a few strategic tasks to your year-end to-do list. Download your free credit report. Look carefully for outdated information or unfamiliar activity, and contact your bank's customer service team to correct any errors before the new year begins. Direct any extra income toward lowering balances, set clear spending limits before celebrations, and keep your payments automated and on time. With a few intentional steps woven into your holiday routine, December becomes a powerful opportunity to protect your credit card and start January on solid financial ground. In our funded and focused feature, a well-designed incubator or accelerator program delivers a tangible return on investment for every participant, faster progress, fewer costly mistakes, and a business that becomes viable financially in a fraction of the usual time. Instead of spending months or years trying to figure out legal setup, financial systems, funding pathways, and growth strategy on their own, founders move through a structured process that establishes their company properly, organizes their money flow, and prepares them for capital. This concentration of guidance, tools, and accountability dramatically shortens the distance between startup mode and a business that can earn, attract funding, and operate with confidence. For women founders especially, the return on investment isn't theoretical. It shows up in bank readiness, grant eligibility, financial clarity, professional visibility, and the long-term stability needed to grow. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, artificial intelligence is no longer just a buzzword. It's transforming supply chains and shaking up the global job market. In Trinidad and Tobago, at the recent Supply Chain Hub's end-of-year event in Central, experts warned that while AI promises efficiency, it also raises serious concerns about job security. TTT News' Sunil Lala has more in this Business Insight feature.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is transforming the way businesses operate, and the global supply chain industry is no exception. At the Supply Chain Hub's Mixer in Chaguanas, Head of AI and Data Analytics at Incas Services, Leslie Lifuk, showcased the remarkable power of automation and its impact on modern supply chain processes.
All we do is we upload the performer and is able to produce all the related assets to complete the entire transshipment of that particular thing. How much work you think? Yeah, and all we do is uploaded one document. So like the efficiency part is like the biggest opportunity for us right now, but it also, from an impact on future work, is huge. But
with efficiency comes fear. Mr. Lifuk said the biggest concern among employees is job security.
I think there's a lot of fear. What do you think is the biggest concern when it comes to like your staff today? What do you think they're most worried about when it comes to AI? Job loss. Yeah. Job security, job loss. That's the biggest fear people have.
He pointed to Microsoft's $10 billion investment in OpenAI as an example of how automation is reshaping the workforce.
So Microsoft, at the point in time, invested $10 billion for 49% share into OpenAI. Probably the best money that they ever spent. Right? But 1 week later, they sent home 15,000 people. In the months that followed, so this is 2022, in the months that followed, they started to lay off low performers, which is fair. They started to then lay off mid-level managers. They started to then lay off non-technical people.
And he warned that the trend isn't stopping there.
Where we are today is now they hired a whole bunch of HR people to get rid of all these people, but now the AI is getting rid of the HR people as well. And the CEO of Microsoft this year received his largest payout ever on the back of additional 15,000 layoffs. So they're automating a lot of the mundane transactional activity. The operational teams are shrinking. The mid-level management teams are shrinking. Profits are higher, but they're still letting people go.
So exactly what does this mean for the workforce?
Technology CEOs are saying HR needs to justify that AI is not able to do a position before we consider hiring a human today. Will we need less experts? Or will we not need experts, was your question? I think we will need experts, we just need less. We will need higher qualified people who can use also AI. So we need an expert who is 88% more efficient.
Mr. Lifuk reminds that in the AI revolution, employees must take on the challenges and constantly adapt.
From shared African identity to food, festivals, and even a Rastafarian community, Nigeria and the Caribbean are often said to mirror each other. TTT News captured that cultural tapestry with this report.
No night in Zion, there is no night day.
From food and festivals to a shared African identity, even a Rastafarian community, Nigeria and the Caribbean feel culturally connected. Aisha Adumo Ogi, Director General at the Center for Black and African Arts and Civilization, explains why that connection feels so natural.
It's not surprising that Nigeria and the Caribbean have a really strong connection. First of all, even DNA tests are confirming that a lot of the slaves that were taken in the past came from West Africa. We are seeing a reconnection of roots between the Caribbean and Nigeria. You're seeing the likes of Brazil and Cuba showcasing whether it's language, religion, music. There's so many connections between us.
Those links are visible on the ground too. In Abuja, the Rastafarian community shows just how far the Caribbean influence has traveled and how it's been embraced in Nigeria.
And the idea of this organization is to bring our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean and connect them with their brothers and sisters in Africa, create a viable connectivity, a synergy between Africans living in Africa and Africans in the Caribbean. in the area of culture, in the area of health exchange, education exchange, entertainment, film, and so many other things.
And as for Nigeria's tourism sector, these similarities open the door for even deeper partnerships. Dr. Badaki Aliu of the Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria extends an invitation for partnership.
Nigeria has had a long-time relationship with the country because of the similar culture we are holding, and we are ready to partner forthwith in order to promote what they have and the one we have in Nigeria, an area of common interest, to be able to come together and promote it to the world.
From ancestral drumbeats to Rastafarian faith, the Caribbean-Nigerian bond remains unbroken. I'm Bridget Leslie for TTT News, reporting from Abuja, Nigeria.
In sports, Trinidad and Tobago officially opened the 2025 Carifta Artistic Gymnastics Championships on the weekend at the National Cycling Velodrome, hosting the regional event for the first time. Here's more from Nasira Mohammed.
Delivering the feature address, Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs Philip Watts called it a proud milestone for TNT and regional gymnastics. He welcomed visiting teams, saying their presence showed that Caribbean gymnastics is gaining international confidence. Highlighting Team TTO's early Carifta success and Yandy Stafford's Pan Am Gold, Watts praised the dedication of athletes, coaches, families and administrators, saying Caribbean athletes can compete and win on any stage when given the right support. The minister added that Carifta is about more than medals. It's about building discipline, resilient youth, and reaffirm the government's commitment to expanding both elite and grassroots sports programs. Watts commended the Trinidad and Tobago Gymnastics Federation, led by Suzanne Baburam, and thanked volunteers, sponsors, and support teams for their efforts, urging athletes to compete fairly and cherish their experience. Minister Watts then declared the 2025 Carifta Artistic Gymnastics Championships officially open.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thank you so much for watching.